All right, cool. And we're live. Perfect. So today we're just working on a side project that I've been working on for a while. It's a learning management system, and there's a few features I would like to implement today, mainly the edits and the delete functionality of the quizzes. So this learning management system application is something that I actually use for my studies personally. I hate when I write notes and then I forget all about my notes after a while. So I built this learning management system, which mainly uses quizzes to store the knowledge of my notes. So I upload my notes to this, and I'm able to quiz myself on the notes, and I'm able to upload multiple notes. It's just a way for me to just keep ahead of my studies. So the application is built on Rails, primarily with React frontend, and how I'm rendering the React components is via Inertia.js. And Inertia.js allows you to utilize React components within a Rails application. You can also integrate Inertia.js with Laravel and a few other frameworks, but it's a pretty useful tool actually. And the reason what I like about Inertia.js is that it allows me to build a Rails application with React components without having to have two separate applications that connect together. So in the past, if you're using React on Rails, you would need a React client and a Rails API, and you would need to connect to each other via HTTP requests, via fetch requests. And this meant that you had two services, you had two different code bases. There was just a lot to manage, and then you had to deal with calls, which was a nightmare. But with Inertia.js, it makes it so much simple, so much easier to work with a React front end and using a Rails backend. So I'm enjoying my experience so far. There's a few things that I had to get used to, but overall it's been a good experience. Let me just quickly fire up the application and we can get started. Let me just quickly. Okay, I don't know what that was. All right, so let me just see something quickly. My Node version. All right, and LS of. All right. And while that's loading up, so today I'm just working on the edits and delete functionality of quizzes. I want to be able to edit and delete quizzes that are uploaded in the application. So these are some of the items. Create a quiz edit form component. Add edit/delete buttons to the quiz cards. So I've already got the delete button implemented. I just need to find a way to. So this is actually marked off. I've got this done already. I just need to create some kind of pop-up that opens up once I want to delete a quiz card. All right, and I need to actually run Postgres. Yeah. All right. And I always forget what is this? I always forget the Postgres command to start Postgres. I believe it's something like Postgres. I think it's like homebrew start PostgreSQL. I believe it's something like this. Brew start PostgreSQL. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, okay, not right. All right, let me just see. Hop on Chat GPT real quick. PostgreSQL homebrew start command. brew services start Postgres. Yeah. All right, so while that's starting up, okay, so first thing I want to take on is I already have the delete button implemented. And what is happening? Okay, what seems to be the problem? Okay, so it started now. Now let me restart the application. Oh, come on, man. Saying this is the problem with Rails. There's always 1,000,001 issues that you can run into at any given time. What's the problem now? I may have to restart the server. So I gotta kill all these processes first and foremost. 8654. Actually, before I do that, let me check if there's any other processes that is running in the background. I've got a few, so I got to kill these processes first before I can begin the application again. Yeah, Rails is always frustrating. Rails can be frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. Let me just shut this down. Now let's see what happens. And why I decided to use Rails above any other stack is that I just wanted to quickly build this out. See, I'm currently studying full time, so I don't really have a lot of time to work on this project. So I use Rails to build all the backend stuff, all the models, the database stuff. And it's just so quick, so quick and easy to get it all like scaffolded and ready to go. And do I regret using Rails? Not really. And it's times like this though I do. What seems to be the problem? Okay, I'm gonna get into debugging mode soon. Because I'm not sure why it's breaking like this. Is there anything that I am missing? Do I have a migrations? Do I have a pending migrations? No, I don't. Then what seems to be the problem here? as you can see here, there's the way Inertia.js works. It has certain things running on certain ports. So I've got the React or the Vite React working on one port, and then the Rails application on another port, and also there's this Tailwind CSS is being occupied in another localhost port. I don't know exactly how it all works, but I do know that this is how Inertia.js does it. Okay, what's happening here? All right, let me Puma request lib action dispatch server timing. Okay, I'm just gonna use Copilot here to help out with this. I guess this is like my favorite thing about like AI as a whole. It's honestly being able to just debug stuff. I'm just gonna, and my system is so slow today. Okay, I'm just gonna debug this to see what's happening. And my system is just crashing. I know I run into this issue like every once in a while where like for whatever reason it's always a Postgres issue and I have to kill some running process that just failed to be some running PID, and it always affects me some way somehow. I already have Postgres started here, so let me stop it here. There's a process that's running, there's a PID that's running. From my memory, there's a PID that's running that failed to stop running when I exited the app last time, because this error usually happens when I shut down the application without shutting down Postgres properly. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. Oh man. this is just so fun. No implicit conversion of nil into string. Couldn't create database. Don't tell me I forgot to. No, it can't be that. This is checking the migration status. See, it's sometimes, man, Copilot can be so frustrating. You know, let me just help it out. It's funny how I'm talking to AI like I'm speaking to a human being. I'm just basically prompting it to remember there was a time where I solved this in the past, and there was a running PID that it told me to delete, and that solved the issue. And I believe this is what the problem is. Yeah, I think it is this one. Server.pid, I believe. Yep, I thought so. And I don't know why this is an ongoing issue. Why does this keep happening? Okay, before I start the server again, let me just ensure that there's no running PIDs. And I don't know why I have to manually delete these. I never used to have to do this in the past. I must have stuffed up some setting so where now I have to manually kill every PID. Basically every port that I open, I have to manually like shut it down. And where I never had to do this in the past, so it doesn't make sense. Okay, so let me start Postgres first and foremost. Actually, no, let me just run it. bin slash, oh no, bin slash dev. And hopefully this time it's worked. The glory of using Rails. Oh, what happened now? Okay, so now let me restart it. I should probably just use the services restart Postgres command as opposed to deleting it and starting it again. But whatever. Okay, cool. So now let's give the baby a try. Okay, fingers crossed. This time it's working. Come on. Ah, yes, that looks better. No, it doesn't. So there is a pending migration. You have 9 pending migrations. What? Don't tell me this created an... Dude. Honestly, Copilot just created an entire new table, new database. Oh jeez. It's like I'm starting the application from scratch. Yeah, I probably need to shut this down and start it again. Or maybe not. Alright, finally. Finally got it working. And now I'm worried for the future because I just think it created an entirely new database for me. And that means that all my previous data is not going to be present anymore. Wow. Yeah, so this is the problem with following Copilot's instructions one by one. Because the issue was simple. I just had to kill off that working process, that working server or whatever it was called, and now it's made me create an entirely new database. Man. Okay, so And I heard issues that Claude is actually a bad model. It's actually a pretty bad model for coding lately. It's been having problems. Oh, I'm actually frustrated now. Oh man. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's just annoying. How do you show command to show database tables? I think it's like show no, that's more. That's from MySQL. Show template 0. I'm just trying to see what did I name the database for my test for development. I don't think I gave it a name. Oh, all right, whatever. Look, I'm just gonna have to start again from scratch, but it doesn't matter. That's cool. That's cool. So the way the application works is, I know it took forever to actually have it up and running, but the way the application works is it allows me to upload my study notes directly and create quizzes based on my study notes. I'm actually using OpenAI's API to generate quizzes directly from my notes. So a quick example of this will be, let me just pick this note over here. And this is security topic will be computer science. Subject will be, let me go, introduction to networks. Now, when I hit generate quiz, it takes a while, it's loading. Let me shut this down. Wow, my network is really bad today. Okay, so we've generated the quiz, and it will now take me to the dashboard where the quiz is located. And as you can see here, I've got one tab, computer science, and I have the quiz on here. Perfect. And when I click on the quiz, I am met with a screen that has 10 questions of multiple choice. So which physical layer interception easier in, okay, that's a wow type, I can't read. Why is physical layer interception easier in, I believe, what's a wireless local access network, easier in a wireless local access network than in wired LANs. The physical layer interception is easier in a wireless local access network because you can intercept the data via without a physical connection, because it's all the data is being transferred via Wi-Fi. So the answer, I believe, is radio waves can travel beyond walls, allowing external capture. Wired LANs are stronger to encrypt. Wired LANs have higher frequency. Yep. So the correct answer is A. And then short answer will give me, will check my answer whether it's right or wrong, and I'll get some sort of explanation here, which will give me further clarification of what I'm studying. And then I can move on to the next question, so on and so forth. So it's just a way for me to basically practice my notes over and over again and get competent with my study notes. So it's a pretty useful tool. There's a few things that I want to improve on this tool, and I'm just actually I'm so sad that all my previous data was deleted, but whatever. So what I'm working on today is I have an edit button that allows me to delete the quiz. I'm not going to delete this just yet, but I want to also have the option to edit the quiz as well. So I need to generate a form that will allow me to edit the quiz items and save it. Simple CRUD. It's a simple CRUD functionality. So looking at my Trello card here, it'll be create quiz edit form component. Cool. So when I toggle this, I will have a second button on the quiz card that will show edit quiz card. And what I'm gonna do for now is I have a delete button set up somewhere, so let me and I believe this is the card component. Cool. So the code is a bit messy right now. I do need to refactor all of it. So this is my edit button here. So this is my delete button. I'm going to create another button here, and this would be to edit. Edit quiz. And I don't know why I'm using a div as opposed to a button. Edit quiz. And I need to wrap it in JSX brackets, like so. Why is it still erroring out? Just gonna leave this empty for now. I don't know why is this giving me an error? Oh, nah, lowercase button. Cool. Still giving me an error. Okay, it's cool now. All right, so I have my edit button here, and this should show up when I hit. Cool, it's coming up at the bottom here. Okay, so maybe shouldn't be there, but at least I know it's rendering on screen. So I'm just gonna copy some of my style in here for the delete button, and I'll move it over slightly to let me 5. I think I need to make it left, and let me say left 10. Nothing showing up. Maybe I should toggle this down a bit. You know, border 2, border red 500, just so I can see it's visually. Okay, so that's it right there. Cool. Let me change the color as well. So text white. And the Z index, I need to make it Z index 22. So it's the visibility above the card UI is seen, and I'm going to increase the width to contain all the text. Perfect, on the same line. All right, so I can see it. Now what I'm gonna do, I have the delete button up top. Maybe I'll render this button below the delete button, like so. But instead of rendering text, I'll use an icon. I'll display an icon instead. This way I can save some real estate on the card UI. And what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to reduce the size of this average score tag UI. Let me padding left, right. Let me reduce this to 1. Cool. And pattern right reduces to 2. Okay. That made a little bit of a difference. And I'm going to reduce the text size. It's already extra small. What if I'll reduce the text to like 10 pixels. Okay, let me make it 8 pixels. And these are just minor, minor changes, but it makes a big difference, I want everything to all fit within the card, but I don't want everything to be kind of squished up. And this is just right now I'm just kind of feeling things out. This would definitely not be the final look, because I'm not really satisfied with that delete button, to be honest. Okay. Now I have that. Now I'm going to look for icon. I'm going to look for an edit button icon. Oh, I can just, yeah, this is perfect. Something like this. No, not add. Edits. Something that can be easily seen on the card, that is visibly that will visibly stand out, because the UI for my cards, they change from, the colors change randomly, so from red, blue, and green. So I want a button that can easily stand out regardless of whatever the background of the card is. Let me just look. I'll just use this for now. And I have to download it. I'd rather just have it as a SVG. So edit button SVG. No, I don't want to download it. I'd rather just have the code. You know what? Let me see. This is what's good about AI. Actually, no. I'll do it inline here. Give me an edit SVG icon for the edit button. And I'm not a big vibe coder. I'm very skeptical. I feel like if I fully embrace vibe coding, I'm gonna lose some of my ability to write code, and I'm gonna be fully reliant on this tech. So I'm very I'm not against it, but I'm very I'm very hesitant to make it my full-time thing, because it's something that I know if I fully embrace, I will become lazy. I know that for a fact. Okay, looks like it's generated it, but it looks kind of dead. Like it doesn't. It's not the greatest. Maybe let me give the button the background color. So background, I'll give it white for now. Let me I'll remove the text. Wow, this is a very ugly button. Okay, make the width. Let me increase the size of this actually. So I've got my okay, cool, and I'll shift over the position of this to the. I'll leave it at 10, and let me go left 15. Where is it gonna end up? Okay, left 55, 45. 40, 42. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this edit button at all. Yeah, this is ugly. But I guess what I want to do is I just want to have it working for now, and then I'll come back to like restyle this and make it better, because this looks, it's not very inspiring, but whatever. In actual fact though, it's probably I should probably swap around the icons, whereas edit is the first button and delete should be the button below it. Yeah, actually I don't need to swap that around. I just need to swap the positioning. So I'll just grab this. Actually no, don't need to copy and paste it. Just swap around the top 10, and then this one will be top 1, and that should swap the buttons around. Cool. I don't want a PNG. I want the SVG. Oh man. Let me switch models. Okay, so I'm going to use okay, so yeah, Claude it's been having issues lately. I'm going to go to when it comes to like GPT models, I am the most uninformed person, and I really don't care too much about this AI stuff, like, to be honest, but I guess it's something that I got to become familiar with. Give me an SVG button over the selected code. Give me an SVG edit button over the selected code. And see, like in the past, something like this, I would have to search for it myself and make it myself. Now I'm so lazy to the point that I just vibe code it out, which is really bad. But I guess I shouldn't spend too long on this. I need to move on. But whatever this comes up with, I'm just gonna use so that I can move on. Okay. Oh wow, it actually helped me. I highlighted the wrong button. I mean, and he actually picked it up. Smart. I highlighted the delete button by accident. and it picked that out. I was referencing the wrong button. Or did it? Am I tripping? No. Sorry, I was tripping. It just made a new button up top. Oh, what is this, man? Yeah, you know what? I'm done. Whatever, I'm done. Whatever. Look, I'll come back to this later. Let me just get something going. Cool. So we have our edit button here, and as you have realized, I'm not using any front-end libraries, just because I'm using React partially on the front end. This isn't a full React application, but I'm sure I can integrate some sort of front-end library, but this is more of like a throwaway project, so I don't want to spend too much time like tinkering around and doing all that. Okay, so I've got the edit button set up partially, and now I need to create a function that I need to create a form. I need to load up a form that allows me to edit the button. Cool. And so what I'm gonna do is, now should I create the form? How would the form be rendered? So I'm gonna pass in some props as a state. I'm gonna pass in props to this card, and these props will toggle so the edit button will toggle the show or hide edit form. So if I'm reverse engineering this, I'm gonna pass in a prop to this card that takes in I'll pass in a prop that is a Boolean attribute, and it checks to see if the edit button has been toggled. So I'm just gonna add it in here, so it'll be something like toggle edit form, or should I just call it edit form? I'll toggle edit form, like so. And I need to update the type as well for this component. I'll do that in a second. And then when the edit button is clicked, this is fired, and cool. And now I'm gonna go into the dashboard, and the subject card I'll pass in the toggle. Yeah, I guess I can do that. And up top here, I'll create a set function. Cool. So now we have the toggle form. No, not set toggle form. And I'm gonna pass this in as a type. So this would be a set state type. So I need to update this to be status, perfect, like so. Boolean, and it's void, it's returning nothing. Cool. So this should fix the errors that are showing up for the type of this function. And Now I need the toggle form to be connected to a form. Now there's two ways I can do this, because I also need the form to show up. I can have the form as a hook that reads every time the edit button is toggled. And this is better because it encapsulates the state of the form within the hook. Thereby, if I have the form on the main dashboard page, what this means is that every time the form is toggled, every time the state of the form is altered or changed, every single component within the dashboard will also be re-rendered. It's just how React works. I don't want everything to be re-rendered just only when the form needs to be re-rendered. I don't need the entire component to be re-rendered, or I don't need every component within dashboard to be re-rendered. I only need that form to be re-rendered when it is needed. So I can encapsulate all the logic within a hook for the form and then display it when it's needed to be displayed. And that would mean that I wouldn't need to pass it as a prop. I can have it here and it will edit the form directly within each card. So the logic for the card will be encapsulated within this card, within the quiz card, and everything that is updated I can then send as a request to the backend directly within this component. So this component will store the logic for when it is edited, as opposed to me storing the logic on the main dashboard. So I'll need to create a new form, and I've always sucked at forms. Edit quiz card. And this will return return a form, and or matter of fact, okay, see, I love that. So subject name, import so the properties that I need to edit for each quiz. Looking at the type, so we'll need the form ID ultimately when we're making the request. We'll need the title, subject, image, possibly, tag, description, topic, quiz details. What's in quiz details? And I'm only using the quiz details to get the external IDs. form, the form could take in the subject card, saying it's a React component. And I guess the props that will be passed in will be subject card props, pretty much. Before I get the props. All right, so I've got import. So it'll be title, not titles. Let me see here. Got the subject image. I'm not gonna be changing that. We're gonna edit subject, yep. Title, yes. But it could have multiple titles, the form. Each card can have multiple titles. I have a plan to where I want to have each card has multiple titles. I want each card to represent like a page to where, for example, this quiz item here, which is this quiz card here, the subject is introduction to networking. I want a way to what I want to happen is when someone clicks on this card, it will take them to another page to where there will be multiple quizzes listed that relate to this subject. So right now I've got the one quiz, LAN security, wireless security. I have that for this card, but I want a situation where I can add multiple quizzes that are related to this subject right here. So this would mean that I'll need to create another page when a user clicks on this, as opposed to going to the quiz directly, which is what I've got going on right here, because I want to have multiple quizzes for the one card. So because that is the case, and right now I'm creating an edit function that edits the cards directly. At some point I'll need to change the logic, switch the logic up. But for now, I will have the edit form just edit the subject, the topic, the subject, and just the topic and the subject, and also the user ID. No, just the topic and the subject for now. Okay, so I'm gonna have two properties in my form, the topic and the subject. So, and do I have it as topic or as categories? Do I have the variable as topic or categories? I believe I have it as subject. Cool, that's one property. Subject and topic. Cool. Cool. I'll just take this. Perfect. Subject and I'm not sure why this is error now. I got to double check the type for that. So it's already defined me a function here on subject change. Cool. And there will need to be a set state that updates this in real time and then sends a request to the backend. So subject, so I have the label here, and I'll create another label for for the topic. So topic name, oh man, what is not selected topic, it's just topic. Mate, my computer is just subject change. Okay, so I have the so on subject change, I set these values. Set subject change. Oh no, this should be on change should equal set subject change, and then this should equal set topic change. Oh, man, what is this? Why is this? And what I love about AI is something like this. I can say create a class that displays the form in the center of the window with background overlay, with a dark background overlay. Okay, and I need to pop in a div here. All right, so, and I'm gonna need a function here. The function will basically send a request to my backend. I'll just define it for now. Const edit edit form, edit quiz card. Update quiz card, edit, and I'll return empty brackets for now. Okay, what just to escape all of these errors, bro. Okay. All right. So I have the function here, the form here, and this would be on. It'll be on submit. So I need to create an on submit button. Cool. And why is this causing an error? I don't get it. Because I'm gonna put any for now. I guess it's not really a functional component. Whatever. Cool. So I have this basic form, and when I toggle the edit button, it should show this. So I'm gonna put I'll put a style here called hidden. Let me make this. Oh wow. Like so. Hidden. And I'm gonna create a setter. Show set show edit form. And this would be false for now. Const. How am I doing? Const. Lowercase. Okay. And this will check if it's true. Else it'll show hidden. Now, so when this is toggled, it'll be set to block. So it'll be, or maybe I should use fixed instead. Am I doing something wrong here? Yeah, it's okay. All right, so we have the toggle for the form sets. And let me update, because we've changed the logic here. We're no longer toggling the form from outside the component on the dashboard. We're actually toggling the form within the subject card component. So I'm just going to update my on subject click, not that one. I think our button is down here. Yeah, I'm just going to toggle this too. Right, and I'm going to render our form. So we have our edit status here. Also pop in. Okay, cool. So we have our form to edit our quiz here, and obviously it is coming with an error. Missing. Yeah, I have to pass in all the props. Props was topic. Was it topic? Oh yeah. Actually, no, it's not gonna work because I'm having this set as I'm defining this on topic change. No, it's yeah. So show edit form is outside of the quiz component, and the quiz component is calling it here. So I'll need to pass it as a prop then. So show will equal boolean, and then show. Oh yeah, and I need to update that to show. Okay, now let's give this a try. Yeah, not working as intended. Why? Oh, yep. Okay, so I need to do something as well, something else, which I did for my delete button. I need to make the edit button prevent the default behavior from occurring when the card is clicked. Because when the card is clicked, the users, we're directed directly to the quiz page, and we don't want that. We only want that for when the card is clicked, but when the user clicks the edit button, we want to stop the default behavior. So I'm going to take this in and add it to the onClick function. So this stops any default behavior. Stop propagation. What is this? And I need to wrap this in curly braces. All right, so now let's give this a try now. Cool. All right, so we have something working. Now we need a way to be able to exit out of the form. So we need to pass in. We need to have like some sort of button within the form that allows us to close out of the form. I'll just define a quick button here. Okay, so when we toggle the button, cool. Now we need to move this obviously to the top of the button, to the top of the form. So we'll use absolute top 10 and then left 5. Okay, maybe not absolute, relative, unless I make the form absolute. And cool. All right, now the overlay is a bit too dark. I don't want it to be, I want it to be more or less transparent. What if I went and I set the like to 100, the background color black to 100. Okay, so that's too transparent. Okay, that's doing nothing. You know what? Background gray, 200. The opacity, is the opacity even doing anything? No, let me just do this the old-fashioned way. RGBA, RGBA. This, I think that's white. Yeah, okay, that works ish. Yeah, that's okay. And it's not exactly centered, but it is what it is. And okay, I don't like that behavior, so it takes you back to the quiz. So I'm assuming that what this function actually does, the stop propagation, it just delays the initial call. So then I will need, and I don't want that. All right, we can fix that later. Ideally, I would want it to redirect the user back to obviously the previous page. Maybe I can set something up here to where on click, something like close form, and this will just return the user back to the previous page. I think it's like window dot, it'll be window dot relocate, no, window dot push state, and then how do I, or window dot history. Let me see what Copilot has to say about this. You know what? Let me use good old Google. How to go back to previous history using window JavaScript. I think something like window.history window.history.back. I think that's what it is. And I'll set the form to false, but once the form is set to false, then I guess the window.history will not work. No, we'll give it a try. I'll just pop in here, set show false, but I'll comment this out, and man, my computer is running so slow right now. It is so annoying. Anyways, look, I'm gonna pack it up for today. My computer is dying. Hopefully the next time we do this session, it runs a lot more smoothly. I will ensure that everything is up and running, and we'll pick up from where we left off. Good night.